he's forever been arrogant. Continuously. What did you simply say? In any case, presently you're additionally seeing one more side of him that he never needed to show me. Tabloids love that sort of stuff. The sensationalist newspapers. They love that sort of stuff, I read. It seems like Steve Harvey has turned into a ruler of the shameful titles. What's more, notwithstanding the individual recommending conjugal issues that caused the web to detonate a couple of days prior, his partner Terry Vaughn is currently proposing that this man is brimming with advance notice characteristics and has fundamentally been one major warning starting from the beginning of his profession. Steve from some time ago, and presently he's getting achievement and he's not switching off what his identity is. Right. Hopefully you're ready to observe the side of Steve you haven't seen previously. So Steve Harvey's overall generally examined once more, and this time it's one of his old individual celebs who is spilling every one of the delicious insights regarding Steve's frightful side. Furthermore, he transformed his Steve Harvey show into a position of dread and dread. Presently, Terry has been working with Steve for quite some time, and she most likely understands this individual better than any other person. What's more, folks, obviously she isn't in amazement of his way of behaving. Unadulterated vanity and egotism. He won't be tranquil and kneel and be grateful to you all like you made him. As per Terry. Starting from the beginning of his vocation, Steve was of an exceptionally high assessment of himself, and at the equivalent, he dealt with most of individuals like soil. Here's only one ongoing model that can completely show you all what a man is really taking such a great deal our daytime. All of you recall funny pantomime of Steve Harvey, made by skilled entertainer and the star of parody series Saturday Night Live. Kenan Thompson fears what you're terrified of fears. Presently look at here. Individuals got all sort of fears. All things considered, it seems as though Steve didn't take the joke well, and he invested a ton of energy simmering his kindred humorist in his meetings and making sense of for everybody why this was an exceptionally poorly conceived notion. Sooner or later, Steve even referenced that Thompson is as yet having his vocation on account of Steve, as though these depictions were the main way that kept Saturday Night Live above water. Kenan's profession is perfectly healthy as a result of me, his impression of me. Nonetheless, Steve's presumption didn't stop here, and he got embarrassing his partner straightforwardly far from the public information, as Kenan later admitted. Steve was so irritated with this depiction that he started sending admonitions to the humorist. Steve Harvey didn't adore it to start with. I know him, so he would send messages through common companions or directly through the press, similar to advise the little fat kid to knock it off. That is simply solid past upsetting. In any case, as Terry continues to say, she never expected one more sort of conduct from Steve as she had realized all his obscure sides while working with him on Steve Harvey's show. And keeping in mind that you might believe it's a significant privilege and joy to be encircled by the big name that had arrived at such levels in his profession, Terry is of something else entirely. There's a feeling of lowliness that individuals need to see, however you only sort of he abhors that word, humble. Amazing. He can't stand it. What's more, assuming you're mature enough to recollect it, you likely realize that Kenan Thompson has additionally begun his direction on television. In Steve Harvey's show, he played a person named Junior from 1996 to 1998, preceding Thompson, 1998, preceding Thompson left to construct his own vocation, which now Steve thinks about his own legitimacy. As Harvey referenced in one meeting, I call Kenan constantly and say, "Hello, man, send me a portion of your check since I'm a portion of the explanation you're here." Clearly, Terry had enough of Steve's pomposity, and she predicts a fast death of Harvey's television profession in the event that he keeps acting like a diva and stroll over individuals he's working with. It appears as though he's so loaded with himself that considers his own representatives irritating workers who are available on the set to serve the Lord of Parody and Relationship Master simply. When else is like, holy cow, what's happening with Steve? Definitely, they was like I was simply horrendous individual. I'm actually a pleasant person, yet it's simply I'm a particularly decent person. Individuals simply exploit it. While impacting his kindred big names on and off camera is as of now sort of upsetting. You don't envision, folks, what other not-so-celebrities need to encounter with regards to working for Steve Harvey. All of you recall that notice that had been released on the web and made a ton of debate via virtual entertainment. It was that terrible second when Steve requested the staff not to move toward him in his changing area and essentially let him be. The piece of the spilled email read, "My security group will prevent everybody from remaining at my entryway who have the purpose to see or address me. I believe that all the ambushing should stop now. That incorporates staff. You should plan an arrangement." And keeping in mind that the entire Broadway was stunned by Steve's presumption and unforgiving requests, particularly put in such a way, the television have obviously expressed that he wouldn't apologize for composing that update in light of the fact that, as he would like to think, it's what his staff merited. "So I composed the letter, man. I don't apologize about the letter. However, it's sort of insane the manner in which individuals took this thing and ran. Indeed, it seems as though Terry is glad to have never seen these days in light of the fact that evidently Steve's self-image was developing along his ledger, and the more extravagant he turned into, the more bile was overflowing out from him. Many fans are presently stunned to find that Steve's picture is so distant from his genuine character. As one individual remarked, all things considered, in the event that this is the kind of character he has, he best lock in on the grounds that our eminent dad is going to humble him in a powerful manner. Pride precedes the fall. I ask the master shows kindness toward him. Furthermore, another client added, "Is this the start of the end for Steve? Goodness, he has a ton going on." Indeed, Steve has proactively showed himself personally. Nobody needs to be companions or partners with, and it seems like the heap of questionable minutes will be just filling from here on out. For reasons unknown, the shocking titles about one more untidy circumstance connected with Steve spring up regularly. What's more, as Terry Vaughn accepts, it's all a result of Steve's dreadful person and contemptible nature. The meaning of humble. It means to see yourself as low or modest on the off chance that you read the meaning of humble. He abhors, yet. You don't have to request that others figure out that Steve Harvey is a genuinely terrible individual. There's has been numerous dubious minutes all through his profession that main featured all that Terry is telling at this point. Evidently, Steve Harvey is loaded with disdain to this world, and these awful sentiments towards others are blending inside him. What's more, once in a while they surface. Like, recollect when he was unable to prevent himself from a few uncaring comments about local area? It seems as though Steve is so anxious to show his masculinity that he doesn't consider that individuals can have other personal inclinations, as he is sure that each of the a man should be genuine is a lady as would be natural for him. There is definitely not a genuine man living who can live without one of you. There is no such thing as him. We must have you. That is an extraordinary piece of information to have. Furthermore, here's his distinctive response to two ladies reporting they are getting hitched on Steve's show. Also, it plainly shows that the television have doesn't share their satisfaction. On the off chance that that wasn't the what second. However, as per Terry, it's smarter to avoid Steve, regardless in the event that you are a man or a lady, wedded or single. He will constantly figure out how to embarrass anybody since it's in his temperament. He has once expressed that people can't be companions.